Good evening, Attorney Angel, and good evening, classmates. Tonight, I'm going to discuss my thesis entitled A Research Study on the Accreditation Process for Civil Society Organizations in the City Government of Makati, a contribution to citizen engagement and participatory governance. So basically, the background of my study is through the years, people empowerment, people's participation and access to basic services and programs of government characterize the civil society organization engagement in national, local, and barangay levels. In order for a civil society organization to legitimately participate in a local government unit, especially in our city, Makati City, they should be in an accreditation process will be conducted to process their requirements and qualifications to prove their credibility. As enshrined in the local government and Philippine in 1987 Constitution, the state shall establish a role for the people of power. It promotes the people's participation in order for our citizens to be part of the implementation of projects and programs of the local government units as well as in the barangay units. Way back in 2017, the city government of Makati in the Sangguniang Panlungsod, they enacted an ordinance 2017-043 which entitled Providing Qualifications and Requirements of Civil Society Organizations, Non-Government Organizations, and People's Organizations and other similar appropriation operating within the city of Makati. This ordinance added additional requirements for the accreditation process. That's why the number of applicants for accreditation way back in 2017 become more less compared to the other years which the city government conduct their accreditation process. In 2014, the number of applicants for accreditation were only over 20 participants above, and then up to now, in 2019, the number of applicants were only 7 participants. This entails that through the enactment of this ordinance, the number of applicants were lessened to only 7 applicants. Compared to other local government units, especially in Quezon City, we had 1,000 number of accredited civil society organizations. That's why the projects and the programs of its city were directed to all the non-government organizations and delivered to its citizenry. Especially, the other LGUs also has numerous number of accredited NGO. This shows that they focus on the collaboration and participatory governance among all its citizens. That's why I come up with 5 statements of the problem. In order for me to understand fully the context of why accreditation process is important in our city, I would like to know the answers of these following questions. Number 1, what is the current process, system, and legal mandates for civil society organization accreditation in Makati City? I want to know if ever there are other system which the city government of Makati implement in accrediting such civil society organization. Number 2, what are the available instruments and tools that can be examined by the researcher, which will be a guide for policymakers in reviewing the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in accreditation process. I want to have a recommendation for future legislators in our city in order for them to amend such ordinance. And also, not only just amending such ordinance, but also to help the legislators to conduct or to make a law which will be a guide or tool for future accreditation process. and strengthen the collaboration and participatory governance in our city. Number 3, what principles and concepts in participatory governance that can be used by the researcher to determine citizens' engagement in overall function of the local government. Me as a researcher, it is a task for me to know the principles and concepts in participatory governance in order for me to get the essentials of the implemented projects or policies which other local government unit used to develop their organizations in their local government units. And I want to have a benchmarking from those local government units in our city. Number 4, who are the key players and stakeholders for the accreditation process in the city government? Not only the legislators are the stakeholders for accreditation process. So it is one of my tasks to know who are these stakeholders. And number 5, what policy recommendations may be proposed to strengthen accreditation process in the city and ensure the widest implementation of citizen engagement and participatory governance. As a researcher also, it is my aim to have a conclusive policy for the accreditation process that can be used to promote such collaboration and participatory governance in our city. The objective of my study is basically to answer the 5 statements of the problem and to determine those following answers in order for me to come up with a policy recommendation that can be used by not just the legislators but also the stakeholders for the process of accreditation in the city of Makati. The significance of this study shall picture on the actual status between the city government of Makati and the accredited civil society organization. This study intends to provide benefits to the following stakeholders in participation of accreditation for both non-government organizations, people's organizations, as civil society organizations in the city government of Makati. In order for the study to be more significant, it must provide benefits among all its stakeholders, such as the national government, Makati City Government, civil society organizations, the Makatizens, which is the citizens of Makati, and other local government units, and future researchers to strengthen such policy, which is the accreditation process of civil society organization. These are the following theoretical perspectives and conceptual framework that I used in order to come up with a beneficial policy recommendation for such topic. So here are the 6 conceptual framework. Number 1, the engagement of dynamics of the city and various sectoral organizations, the collaboration between the state, business sector, and civil society, social welfare policy, collaborative public management, and participatory governance approach. This is the collaboration between the state, business sector, and civil society. This image shows the collaboration among all the 3 to have a project or a program for the benefit of its citizens. The methodology that I will use for this thesis is document review analysis, key informant interview, and SWOT analysis. That would be all. Thank you.